given up this space in our life where we've just thrown faith out the window. We become too logical. We become too understanding that everything needs to have a box and it needs to fit in this thing, and we need to be perfect, and I need to behave the right way all the time. Truth of the matter is, life is messy.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome. This is Austin Linney here with your solo episode. I'm really starting to enjoy these guys. The longer I talk, the more concise the conversation gets. There's this thing that they talk about when they say you have to believe in yourself. If you want to get something started, if you want to change your life, if you want to kind of go to the next level, or you want to get out of the current situation that you're in, you have to believe in yourself. Well, what does that even mean, right? You got to have faith. Okay. Well, faith is this funny word that sometimes I think gets caught around religion or, whatever argument that's the new topic in America. And it's exhausting because we don't even know what to do anymore. We don't even know what to believe in anymore. And we're so clouded by manipulation, and you can't believe in that, or you can't do that you don't even know what's what anymore. And I meet so many people that are so down on themselves. They're so hard on themselves. They're so laser focused on their lack of a better word of failures, or not getting what they wanted. And the question is that let's break it down for you. You didn't get what you wanted, so you classified it as a failure. And because you classified it as a failure, it's a bad thing. Yeah, but did you even want the thing in the beginning? Did you even know what you were seeking? Do you even know what success looks like in said venture or said thing? Or most of the times you don't. Most of the times you're unaware of the mark or the target that you're actually shooting for. And more importantly, who cares what the target is? Who cares what we're after? Who cares what that person says you can't do or not do? Life has a way of breaking you before building you. Life has a way of taking away all of your options. So you have to walk down a path, even though you might not think it's the right one. How many times in our life have we gotten something right after we've gotten pain, or we haven't got the thing that we wanted to get in the first place? How many times have we said, I'm really glad that thing didn't happen because this thing showed up? And what that is you're basically telling the universe and faith and whatever you want to call it, that you know better. Right? And I'm not a very religious man myself, but one of my favorite quotes is, if you want to have a good laugh, tell God your plans. I've come to realize after 41 years and beating addiction and having failed businesses and successful businesses and successful ventures and unsuccessful ventures and losing money and being personally attacked and moving a bunch and getting divorced and all these different things that have happened to me. But the one thing that's never left me is that I have faith in my ability to get through it. I have faith in my ability to create something out of nothing. I have faith in my ability to maybe bitch more than I like, maybe complain more than I like. There is a child inside of me, and I'm being as real as I can right now, that is upset because his life unfolded this way. He's upset because it didn't happen the way that he wanted. He's upset, and he comes out, and he is mean, and it's a trigger point. And you're asking yourself, you're saying, where is this coming from? Where all of a sudden do I not believe in myself? Where all of a sudden do I believe that I'm going to be an Uber driver? Where all of a sudden, like entrepreneurship and ownership of businesses and starting a business and writing a book or starting a podcast, all these things, you go through these deep, deep swells, these valleys of not trusting yourself, of not feeling up to the challenge. And each time you don't know what's going to happen, you make it through. And each time you don't know where it's going to come from. Maybe not the way that you want it to. Maybe not the way that you envisioned it. You know, I'm coming to realize that the most ridiculous thing in the world is a business plan. You got to have targets and you got to have things to shoot for. But if you think you know what's going to happen, then you need to be a psychic, not a business owner. If you think you know what's going to happen when you write a book and nobody's going to like it, nobody's going to get any value from it, then you need to be a psychic. If you're going to start a podcast, nobody's going to listen. Yeah, but what if 4 years later that everybody starts listening? We've given up this space in our life where we've just thrown faith out the window. We become too logical. We become too understanding that everything needs to have a box and it needs to fit in this thing, and we need to be perfect and I need to behave the right way all the time. Truth of the matter is, life is messy. Kids are messy. Dreams and hopes and goals and entrepreneurship and living every day is messy. Alcoholism is really messy. But what is the root of the alcoholism, the drug addiction? It's I don't have faith in myself anymore. I don't have the ability to believe that I'm capable to do what's necessary to get to where I need to go. And so really at the end of the day, the core belief of that is a pure lack of faith. It's a pure lack of understanding. It's a pure lack of believing that you're capable. And where does that reside from? Where does that come from? What's the root of that ability? It's very interesting, right? Like you coach so many people and you realize that they're scared of the success. They're scared of that next level, but not in the way of like, I'm going to fail. Like, what if it all works out? What if I get what I always wanted? What if I dreamed? What if my dreams come true? And I'm the first one to tell you that I'm not perfect. And I'm not going to sit here and sit on my high horse and say, because I have a podcast and I coach people, that I'm perfect. There are many, many, many days I don't feel like doing the things that I'm doing. There are many days that I lose some belief and faith in myself. And there's many days that I don't even know what I'm doing. But what I found over the last couple of years is that if you show up in those times where you don't have the faith, if you show up in those moments where you don't have the fire, if you show up in the moments where you don't know if it's all going to work out, you prove something to yourself and you prove something to the universe, that you're choosing to believe in something bigger than you. You're choosing to believe in something that you have no idea whether or not it's going to work out. And you have no idea whether or not this is going to be the end. You have no idea of knowing whether or not you're going to be successful. And that's just the truth. And that's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. That's the truth that people refuse to speak about because it's scary. Because all this hard work and all this effort and time and money and all these things I put in, we don't know. We don't. But nobody wants to talk about it. But all we're really searching for and all we're hoping for is a chance. We're hoping for a chance that it all might work out. But in order to get there, in order to have the belief that that's capable, we have to have faith. We have to have an understanding that we are, at this time, we have the knowledge necessary to create something special. And when you get a little further down the road, you're going to have that knowledge. And then when you get a little further down the road, you're going to have that knowledge and that knowledge and that knowledge and so on and so on. But we spend our lives beating ourselves up by not knowing what we don't know because we don't know it. And I say that tongue twister as a joke because we often in times look back and we're upset with ourselves because we didn't know the thing when we didn't know it, but we didn't have all the information or we didn't know it. But we're going to beat ourselves up for not knowing it because I have to be perfect. Because if I'm not perfect, then what am I? If I'm not successful in my job, what am I? If I'm not, successful on Instagram, what am I? You see the problem with all those things? The entire self-worth, your faith, your understanding, your belief in you is based on what you do. It's based on something outside of you. It's based on something that you don't have control of. Because we've given our power away. We've given the ability to feel great about ourselves to others. We've given the ability to be amazing at what we do to others. Because nobody's allowed to grow anymore. Nobody's allowed to have incremental progress in a positive direction for 20 to 30 years. We need it now. We need the house and the car and the boat and all these things now. Because that's the only way that we can define success to ourselves. Because our neighbor, who we know nothing about, their personal life, has a new car. Because the person that you have no idea about their personal life or how upset they are or sad or good or bad or indifferent looks like they're flossing on Instagram. You see the problem with that logic? Is that, once again, you've given your power to others to allow them to make you feel the way you feel. You've given yourself away not because you think that you don't deserve it, it's that because you don't think you can get there. Because you don't think that you can create something magical. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You're lying to yourself because you're scared. Because you don't have faith. One of my favorite lines of all time, faith functions best in uncertainty. If you knew everything, you wouldn't need faith. When you're embarking on owning a business and employing other people or putting yourself out there through a podcast or a book, it is scary as shit. It's so scary. The fact that I have 600 plus episodes is astounding to me. It's ridiculous. And all I did was just keep recording. And I've gotten better. And we've had months that are good and months that are bad. But you know what I stopped doing? I stopped looking at the downloads because that's not important. Because I'm here to enjoy a conversation that exists in this moment in time. And I'm here talking to you, not with an agenda, but with faith that something I say is going to trigger something in you to become more. Something I say is going to spark something that you've been missing. But here's the funny thing. You didn't need me to say it. You didn't need me to make you aware of it because you already had it inside of you. You just forgot. You just lost your way a little bit. We think that we need this big oversweeping kind of understanding of everything when really you're about a couple millimeters off. And if I can be the one to help you see that, then yippee. When I first started coaching, I needed to be the answer, the only answer for my clients. And I got pure enjoyment out of being the one that fixed them. And I realized that in my last couple of years that the only true coaching that exists in this world that's long lasting, life lasting, is for them to fix themselves. I no longer have to be the hero in their story. They need to be the hero of their story. They need to understand that they are amazing, loved, beautiful, capable of whatever they want. And we each have a unique skill. And my coaching can be frustrating sometimes because I'm not going to give you the answer, because you're going to be stronger for it when you find the answer for yourself. And so you can listen to all the podcasts and you can read all the books and you can go to all the seminars. But when are you going to realize that you're enough the way that you are today? When are you going to realize that you don't need any more of that stuff because you have everything necessary inside of you? You just have to ratchet up that little faith meter just a touch, a little bit by a little bit, week over week. Let the momentum build. Let the momentum create something that is unstoppable. Let the momentum create a freight train of positivity, love, excitement, and joy. And don't let anybody get in your way. We spend most of our time cowering to the true power that exists inside of us. We spend time giving other people the benefit of the doubt of the weaker version of ourselves. And when you decide to become who you've always meant to be, you will have everything that you deserve. But why would the universe, faith, and everything that exists on this planet give you what you need when you are less? Why would it give you what you need when you don't believe in you? Why would the world bestow abundance and amazing riches on you if you don't even think you deserve it? Why? I hope that this message hits that core center of opportunity, faith, understanding, love of oneself. I hope it's something that you listen to and it cracks open that breakthrough of the ceiling that you've been looking for. Thank you, every single one of you, for taking the time out to listen to a message that is just pure from my heart. And I am learning my role that faith and understanding and belief is playing in my own life day in and day out. We'll see you next time. Guys, let me take a minute to tell you about my buddies over at Lead Hub, Ben and Aaron, the best humans I know. Not only are they amazing at marketing for trade companies, but Ben started his HVAC company in his garage, sold it for multi-million dollars. So when this guy talks, I listen. When we took over Dietz Mechanical, we had 22 reviews in 22 years. In 7 short months, we went from 22 reviews to 107. We went from a 4.2 to a 4.7. We tripled our Facebook presence and we tripled our calls. If you're an HVAC, plumbing, electric, landscaping company, and you're looking for a no BS approach to marketing, you're looking for people who have done it before, you got to go to leadhub.net